talking to God, a concept that already existed ever since the birth of humanity. They wanted to talk to the great, powerful one in the sky, and some of them even claim that they were able to talk to God, or even several gods, and they were able also to claim that they were spreading the word of God and that everyone needs to follow them. Because if you follow the word of God, everything will be fine. If you live like a very good person or a person according to God or several gods or whatever. I'm not trying to be some kind of a preacher who wants to say that I listen to God, I talk to God, and so you have to listen to me, because that doesn't even make sense. Every single path is different, so the path that we are taking, the dragon's path, your dragons are leading you to another place. And who your dragon gods are might also be different than mine. My assignment, I might say, to this world, or to the people on the dragon's path, doesn't say that you or anyone else needs to follow anyone on the dragon's path. You do your own thing, as you feel your own instincts, and that is what you need to follow, because you as well are hearing gods. And one of these gods might talk to you as well, that you just don't, that you doubt yourself, that you just simply say, oh no, I'm listening to someone else who can understand what the dragon is saying. For me, for what the dragon is saying to me might be completely different with you. That the dragon has other plans for you, that your spirit is saying other things. It's so completely different that there cannot be someone who claims to be talk with God, so you have to follow it. That cannot be. And they abused the name of the dragon already back in the day, when the dragon's path was not a left-hand spirituality, but a right-hand religion. And they abused one of these dragon gods. And the most abused dragon god was Quetzalcoatl, or in short, Q. I always say Q to him. He was very much abused. There was a guy that said that they need to do sacrifices for Quetzalcoatl, the Lord of the Air. He was hearing the voice of Q. He was hearing him, and he said that he need to do sacrifices for the dragon of the air. That Quetzalcoatl, or Q, is also considered to be the wisest among the dragon gods, simply because of a statement that he said. Hear to this: if you want to give me something, if you want to sacrifice something, then please sacrifice or give something from yourself, because sacrifices doesn't make sense if it's not from you. That is what I also read, but they didn't seem to care, because they already did so many sacrifices. They don't want to go back on their path, and they want all of this power and all of these people who just are listening to what he said. But abusing so much of Quetzalcoatl, of a dragon god, that is so bad, my brothers and sisters. That is also why I need to be honest with myself of what the dragon gods are saying. I'm also talking to the dragon gods. I talked with Leviathan, and that's just when you talk to a dragon god like that, then you also know what they have in their mind. And I am still surprised to this day that I didn't become insane of what Leviathan said, of what Leviathan shared with me. I actually didn't want this. I did not want this. I don't care. I didn't care for this, for all of these darknesses that the dragon god was sharing with me. I had so much beautiful experience with the chaos goddess Tiamat. Tiamat also said many things to me, and I was so proud, and so I had an idea of the dragon gods, and I was so in love with the mother of all dragons, with Tiamat. And I was used to her voice, used to her feelings. I wanted to talk to her forever. And then Leviathan came, and I expected something like the same. But it was so dark. But yet it was also so connected and needed. But it was all like a big chaos coming together. Talking to dragons are talking to God. but they will all say something different to me than to you. That is why I won't ever say, and I hope that you will not never say, that you are the voice of God and that they need to follow you, because that is not what the dragon path is about. That is why Q was so abused. His name was abused, and then sometimes I just wished that they listened a bit more and that they returned in their path and were able to correct their mistakes in their path, because that is so simply human. Follow me and just kill this guy for this god. That is not what Quetzalcoatl wanted. That is not what he wanted. He's so wise. Why does he want something like that? A blood sacrifice for that doesn't make sense. For a god that created life. A god that created life to this man needs to be returned in blood. No, that is not what Q wanted. That is not what any of the gods want. That is simply that they, when my brothers and sisters, when the dragon gods talk to us, then they have something for us, something very personal, something that needs to be with us and remain with us, an assignment even, or maybe something that you need to do, something that I felt, for example, is sharing my experiences, that I always said to my God, I will do it, and so it's be done. I said to Tiamat and later also Leviathan that I will do this. And especially Leviathan was very pleased for this. Leviathan especially. Tiamat was more like, that she was like, for her sons and daughters that live in the spirit, that she would keep her children very close. Leviathan is more like the one of practice, the one that knows about everything, that needs to work actually to protect the realms and protect the void. And so it's actually because of Leviathan and the dragon god and this ability to talk with dragons that I was just able to do what I do now. And I love it. And yes, of course, I listen to dragons. That is what I did. That is, people claim me crazy sometimes when I said that. But yes, it was inspired by dragons because I can talk to dragons. But only the dragons of my dragon eyes, so it seems. And that is what you can do as well. You can talk to them. And you can listen to them. And you will find your own path because you listen to them. And sometimes we just need to go back on our path. Sometimes we just need to correct our mistakes into this path. Not what the Aztecs have done. They have made mistakes, so much mistakes, that it makes me sometimes just sad to know how they could have shown everyone the dragon's path, yet they showed violence. That is so not the dragon gods. The dragon gods are life, not death. They created life. They wanted to let life to stay. So how come that humans always think about death? They create something so beautiful together with all of the dragon gods. You have this beautiful world. And yet what humanity can think of is death and giving it back. Why? The spirits must remain here. I can talk to God. I can do this and you can do it as well. It's not something for just a few. It is something for many of us. Many of us and all of us who can feel the dragons can talk to the gods. They can listen to the gods. You don't need to pray for them. You are on equal level to them. You are on next to them. So forget about all of these worshipping God nonsense. You don't need to worship anyone. You just need to talk. If you want to talk to God, then talk. But don't make mistakes like the Aztecs did. Just know for sure, if you do any actions, if this is what your dragon god meant. So especially don't say to another brother or sister, like Favenir said this or that, and it also is meant for you. No, that is more like right-handed. To remind yourself, we are a left-hand spirituality that is more like being called the path of the unlikely witches. So that we are able to talk to the gods and also the spirits of the dragon. That we also can do magic, and our magic is grey, not dark or light, but everything that we need together. Our magic, my brothers and sisters, is like my goddess Tiamat, pure chaos. And out of this chaos, we create a path that is simply made only for us. Keep that in mind, my brothers and sisters. It is very important to know about this, to know that mistakes can happen. Of course, we can make mistakes in our path. The Aztecs made a major mistake with Quetzalcoatl. That is why that I understand when the Spaniards came and slaughtered them. Somewhere I felt normally Quetzalcoatl or Q is a guardian like no other. But I feel that his name was defiled. His name was like, with all of this death in his name that he didn't want, that needed somewhere to stop, and it stopped. But his temple can still be seen in Mexico. If they only were not so human, if they only listened to their draconic spirit, but they listened to the humanity that needed death, that needed violence. When you talk with God, let your dragon spirit speak to them, and so you will eventually know when the dragon gods or just God in general will talk to you. Quetzalcoatl, I actually didn't say enough about him. He's a very, very interesting dragon god. He's a very interesting figure. I always try to search for him. He's an amazing he has amazing abilities. Also seen as the wisest among all of them. He sees life as very precious, and of course, he's the creator of it. He's the air inside of our lungs. I didn't say enough about him, but he's something that you need to discover. He's a power, a force of nature that you need to discover. His image is a feathered serpent. And when you talk to him, then you will gain a lot of wisdom. The dragon in itself is wisdom in itself. But if you talk to Quetzalcoatl or Q in short, then you will gain a lot of knowledge. And I understand that Q was saying this to the Aztecs, to this guy, and he was just deaf for the dragon god. He was deaf. It's becoming deaf. Not in the beginning, so it seems, but later on he became deaf for the voice of Q. Don't become deaf. Don't let your humanity speak. It's so arrogant and it lies to itself. That happens a lot with us. It happens. I lied to myself as well. I thought that the dragon god was saying something, but I lied to myself. And the dragon god was just in my ears. I did not say that. And I was very surprised. I was like, listen. Even though they are not like some kind, they don't see us as slave or something, but if you want to follow the dragon's path and you want to know what the dragon gods are saying, then listen and be humble, and don't let your how can I say this, arrogance. Don't let your arrogance fool you, because this will clouden up your path very much. Your humanity is a bit in the way of your path, but you need to find a way to work together. But it's the dragon, your draconic spirit, that eventually will hear the dragon gods. Once you will hear them, please pay attention. My brothers and sisters, be blessed.